from the Oakwall Studios in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hello, this is Jesse Oakley III, and welcome to the Oak Zone, where normally I will provide positive words of wisdom for you, the happy people. But I would like to take on a different spin with this episode. It is February 19th, 2021, and 30 years ago was one of those memories that stuck with me for a very long time. Do you remember certain events that's happened to you? If you remember these certain events, then they will stick with you for a long periods of time. There have been many memories that stuck in my head for a long period of time, whether it is national news, such as September 11th, where I was and what I was doing when that happened, or it could be a certain time that's close to family, which is the passing of my dad. I remember where I was that Monday morning on February of 2012 when my dad passed away, passing of my mother. I remember where I was in 2018, 5 days before my birthday, when my mother passed. I also remember that early morning when I got the phone call from my sister about my nephew being murdered in August of 2016. It's interesting that you remember all of these things, but there's also those memories that stuck with you about a certain tragedy that has happened. See, 30 years ago, I was a sophomore in high school. And before I went to school, my mom said that there was an accident that happened at the high school where I was going to. She told myself, my dad, to be careful over there. My dad drove me to school, and I saw the police cars. I saw all these emergency vehicles that were right in front of the high school. I got out of the car. I walked over to the hallway, and I saw a teacher by the name of Mr. Madsen telling me, Jesse, go to the multipurpose room. Do not stop for anything. And I asked Mr. Madsen, what's wrong? He says, Jesse, go to the multipurpose room. Do not stop for anything. So I went to the multipurpose room. I went over to see the classmates. And when I got into the multipurpose room, I see lots of sad faces. I see people crying. I see people that were shaken up and visually upset. There was one redheaded classmate that I saw. She had her face covered and she was crying very hard. And next thing you know, I asked somebody what happened. And they told me about a certain young lady, a freshman by the name of Michelle, losing her life trying to cross the street in order to get to her freshman cheerleader practice. I came from a small high school. And if you were to go to that small high school, you have that connection that's there. Michelle was a little lady. She was full of bright spirit, and she was a very dynamic person, being a freshman at our high school class of 1990. It was 1991 at the time, but she would have graduated in 1994. This loss affected everybody. It affected classmates, teachers, and anyone in that high school community. We had special mass for her during lunchtime, and they let school out a little earlier. When I got home, my parents wanted to talk to me about the loss I experienced, as well as my fellow classmates. And I found it very rough to sleep having to experience this type of tragedy. We all went back to school and we all tried to do what we can do for each week, but it was very difficult. And then we had the Friday off to go over to the funeral, which was at the church that was next door to the school. And oh my goodness, it was quite emotional. It was sad. And it was one of those things that I will never forget to this day, especially 30 years later. If you have somebody that you know, that you love, and you appreciate, whether they are here with you or with you in spirit, remember, always keep the person right here in your head and in your heart. Because if you keep them in your head and your heart, you'll always know that they will be with you no matter where you go. I learned this through my dad, my mom, my nephew Keenan, and of course, people like Michelle. They may be in heaven, but I know that these people will be with the people that they love right here on earth. And if you know somebody that is here with you on earth that you love and appreciate, always take the time to tell them how much you love and appreciate them because tomorrow is never guaranteed to you. It's never guaranteed to you. This is Jesse Oakley III speaking. This is a conclusive episode of the Oak Zone. And normally at the end, I would tell you to go like and share these videos with other people that you know. Maybe you want to share this video because it holds some great importance. Until then, you take care and do your best to have a good day. And always remember, if you have people that you love that are with you, remember to tell that person or tell those people how much you love them. It will make a big difference. Bye.